Good evening and welcome back. I'm Teddy and you are listening to Night Talk. So go ahead, grab a glass of wine. You should be able to hear the sound clearly. Shout out to the mob, all my other bears. I call the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. So let's get this. And yeah, this should be much, much better. All right, so no more delay, I think. So this morning when I came on, the video is still up, but the sound is not the way I'd like it. So with that being said, I will probably delete the video, at least the majority of it. Except at the end of the video, I talked about, let's just jump back to that. I talked about Sherelle coming on late last night and that I listened to a portion of her video. Well, as I was going off, I noticed that she was live again this morning for her part two. And now I just got in the feed that Perry and Donat are scheduled to go live at midnight. And I'm certain that that is going to be a serious, I don't even know if I'm going to call it a roast because I listened uh, again just briefly early this morning when Perry was mentioning that he was going to address the situation, that he definitely needed to do that. Whatever he has in mind and whatever receipts they are going to be showing, I doubt seriously that I'm going, you know, it's 10:30 now, almost. It's 10:21 to be exact. It is Friday, isn't it? It is Friday night. So people will probably be up late and listening to that. If I'm not up and listen to all of it, I will probably listen to some of it tomorrow. I don't know what's all that's about, really. But from what I could tell, as I was saying, I can see that Sherelle was very deeply hurt about it, and it's just, it's, it's just kind of gonna get. It sounds like it's super messy, and people have been saying, "Well, don't address it. Don't give him any feedback or whatever." But I think this time it's just with, as she explains it, you can see that she was visibly shaken in her videos. I don't think someone came in the chat again. The one that she was on this afternoon, I listened maybe less than 8 minutes. I can definitely say that. Um, but someone came in her chat because she addressed it and told her that she was, basically acting like a victim. Yeah. And it seems to me that that's the go to for people, some people on this platform. In other words, if you come and you express, and maybe you're, visibly shaken, upset, crying, or whatever, that people go to, you are making yourself a victim. And of course, she thought that was, she said. she thought whoever that was ATT. Why it got to this point, I don't know. Maybe I can learn something from all of it too. I'm sure there will be a takeaway. Did you listen to part one, Baby Juju? I'd have to go back, and I think it was like only a half an hour. Who's gaslighting? One of their tactics, gaslighting. And it. I would have to say this is probably one of the, I don't know, for someone else's, I guess you could say, beef that I'm actually immediately saying something about it. Maybe because it just hits in a different way. She's talking about her mother who is ill, and maybe that has to be it for me. Yeah, that has to be it for me. And so that's why I'm saying something. Again, I just can't imagine, if all of this is true, that it would go like this. And yeah, I didn't listen to his video. What is this? Let's see. Let me go to the bottom of it. Baby Juju says, I think I've been subscribed to Sherelle longer than anyone else. Just thought about that. Really? How about that? She said she has followers, subscribers from way back when. I'll just say forever. She has a very dedicated following of people. Yeah. And I've listened to her occasionally. I have, but not as much. I listen. I listen more probably, during that nosy home life. As a matter of fact, there was something that she said. Or was it? Oh, that kind of in a way. Oh, so this was the part I think that I saw a little bit of. She was playing from a clip, and her mother was on the panel with freckles. That's what it was. And she was on the panel, and she was giving, I guess, an opportunity for AT2 to speak to the panel. I didn't listen to very much more of it. And I don't know if she still has that portion up. But it could be seen clearly that during that period of time, she was being helpful to AT2. And so was her mother. Yeah. And so she was showing that as a receipt of how, one of the receipts of how she supported him, during that critical time. Yeah, that's that's. I mean, just how can a person not remember, when he was going through that? I even addressed it on my channel. I don't know if any of you were, had seen my video. Do There's just a few of us out here right now, but I addressed it directly and quickly too. When that story came out, I didn't jump on the bandwagon and say this, and believe it. No, I did. I stuck up for him as far as the way it went down. That's why, um, I guess on this channel you don't really have to do anything wrong to someone for it to end up like in this way, for a narrative to be spun. And whoever, well, it's not whoever. I'm talking about that situation. People remember who was involved, how that story got out, and yeah, and it wasn't it wasn't very nice. And certainly from the way I was thinking, it can ruin someone's reputation if, you know. So um, again, she was giving him an opportunity, she to use his platform when he was at a really critical moment in his YouTube and his reputation. And now to see how it's turned out, it just is perplexing, to say the least. Again, if you were there and you knew that part, I was around that part. So it's really gone sideways. I could sense that is something, very serious going on, with Sherelle, her mom. I wish her the best in support of herself and her mom, because when you're dealing with a parent who is ill, and your mother, she's going to need her strength. It's not just the person who's ill, it's also the people who take care, caretakers. It can weigh on you, and you see that. And so she needs to take care of herself as well. And right now, it's can create a lot of undue stress, and yeah. So you remember all of that, baby Juju says. Um, it was Dear Yvette and Sweet Pea Diary, AT2, and I'll just name some of the key folks. Yeah, that's facts. But there was something, and I have to um, look at it again, and just it was something that flashed across my mind when I watched how she gave him a platform to come on. She also gave Nosy Whole Life a platform to come on. When she was going through her uh, termination, and people, that's what it is. Sometimes when people come on to your platform, let me take this on. She stood by Nosy Whole Life. Remember that? Yes. And because she did that, she was, her and Perry were attacked for that. It's, she's got another content creator on her platform, and that's Dana. But that's just, that's a different situation. It's a good situation. I haven't watched, many of those videos, but he's been on, and yes, that may have something to do with it. Yeah, that he's on our platform. It's been mentioned. I have some thoughts about uh I'll just kind of see how it goes. But people have got to know. They have got to know that they can all be reminded of exactly what was said, how they felt, and if any lies are told, there are some receipts. If any lies get told about this story, there's some receipts. And all the different players back then. Because it seems like it's kind of going, it might go down a certain pathway. Already I can see it's kind of like a hint of it. Might be some like finger pointing, this, that, whatever's going to. I certainly, no matter what a person's done, it would be the truth. You need to deal with the truth, the facts. And if something as critical as that, rumors about that is that can send someone over the edge. And I think that's why I mentioned it back then, because yeah, we don't want to see something like that happen, right? just don't know. This YouTube, some of the shenanigans and games that people play with people's real lives can be very, very hurtful. And for some people, it's entertainment, but for others who have to deal with it, it's not funny. It is. Some of it's taken way too far. So I'm just sitting back, kind of observing. Maybe I can learn something here. Yeah, they're going to be live later. Yeah, it is. It's weird how people stab you in the back after they've been helped. And I'll have to say, again, everything on this platform is for what at the bottom entertainment purposes only, but also for education, criticism, news reporting, and teaching, and our learning, discussion, commentary. Because you can best believe there's always, if you look at these chats, and I don't do that, but I need to be more observant because that's where, when I have looked just at some of mine, that you can find out in hindsight, there's a lot going on in the chats that isn't even related to what is being talked about at all. And of course, people are going to also be in the chat giving their opinion on what they're hearing. Yeah. But when Sherelle and Perry have a video and something like this, it's going to draw a lot of people in that are different content creators, different subscribers from different channels, people who typically are not used to being in the same chat. So the energy, if I can say that, and we are energy, the energy is certainly can shift on a dime because how it is when it's just one content creator and trolls come in. But when you have all of this mix of people, and there will be folks in the bushes too. I just peeked in. I did go in the chat. And a lot of people are empathetic and sharing their support for Sherelle because of this. But there's always some naysayers and some door knockers who will look for an opportunity to get in it. So, don't know if I'll be up after midnight watching, but I'll probably, if it's left up sure I'll take a look at a little bit of it. Yeah, just just to see, because there's many reasons why. Least of which is curiosity. People are curious, and that's normal. Yeah. Especially when it's so visible on this platform. Even though the sector, it's really not that large, is it? It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't, because there are sectors, I think, within this sector. Don't you think? Yeah, there's some overlap, I think. And then there's some who don't cross on a regular basis. I guess in their own sector. So we'll just say the black tea sector. Can I just call it? Yeah, the black tea sector. All right, so from the bottom, I see Baby Juju, Joanne, Latoya, Kia, Blessed, Vicky, Folks Out in the Bushes. What's this? Bushill. Lisa 969. You pop in. You've been around a long time too. Yeah, you've been around. I definitely can remember you, at least from mid. Seems like maybe the fall of 2021. I think when I first noticed. Maybe you came into my chat. I don't know, late, sometime around then. Yeah, yeah. It would have been around the same time. Remember that child of God. That's He used to come in to my chat all the time. Yeah. And and who was he? I'm trying to think. See, I'd have to look back at my chats. I could learn a lot from my own. I'm trying to think, who is he? Was it, and it was just kind of, I guess, we were small, we're still small, but someone in the chat was teasing it in a playful way. Yeah, when I would be like telling bedtime stories. Was that Jessie Cat, or was that S. Watts? Is there, yeah, it's like one of those. One of, I think. One of the two. And then I was surprised to see a comment later outside of my chat. Like, what did I do to these folks? Nothing. I tell you another one who I was surprised to see a comment come out. And remember Bella? She was always in. Like, what did I do to Bella? Again, if I lay some of these things side by side, and just like people ask themselves, well, what did I do? Uh-huh. That's what you're about to say. What did I do? Sometimes people are just, you know, uh, befuddled. Like, what? When did it go left? Yeah. It's because I think there have always been a few trolls around. And then there's been others that aren't trolls. You know, but I certainly I can remember my chat early on being full of trolls. Now that I look back, full of trolls. Okay. Um, so I was having a conversation also before that one, talking about Sherelle Perry. And I mentioned this, the notion of this nirvana, this bicycle person. And I said, the jury is still way out for me because I need to stay, really, really focused. However, I'm listening carefully for a connection. And then I also mentioned that there is a connection in Louisiana now. There is uh, there is a family member in Louisiana, and I said, well, yeah, okay, people live, all over the country. I would need to see a connection between that family. And I kind of left it there. Oh, what is this? Teddy, I pray the police catches this dog ASAP. Is there something going on? Oh, I don't know. I know she sent things. Really? Is that a rumor? I've never mentioned that. You were listening to Trees Live this morning. I wasn't. And there must have been some talk of it. Never knew. And this would all be alleged because, of course, they don't share with me exactly, what was sent, right? Because everything is kept confidential. All right. Something that I've learned that I've mentioned, I thought that there were, just a handful of contacts, but I've learned there are more than 10. I can also reiterate this point that I made when this first happened. And I'm talking about her reaching out to the medical board. And when I first learned it, how upsetting, I'll just say, that it was. Because, and I'll be careful, I'm in a legal situation with her. Uh, but knowing the history and not knowing what is being said or sent, because I don't know, to open up an investigation and it's fraud Remember, I was so hopeful. I wanted to go the distance. Mhm. And you would say, well, why? When I said going the distance, if it had ever gotten beyond where they had dropped it, because it's steps, then I would have to appear. I've already paid a lot of money to an attorney to deal with that. Okay, that. I won't say what else. See, people don't understand. I've got skin in the game, time, money, my reputation, professional and all. People do not understand the impact of this. Even when things are clear, this individual needs to be held accountable. But what I was saying is, no, what is this? Gia says, wait a minute. Let me just think here for a second. When I said going the distance, for it to, for my medical license to actually get taken, I can demand to face my accuser. She would have to bring your receipts. You're going to have to show your face, Danielle. But see, her strategy is to keep doing it, to try to create this long, record. She said it herself. And she thinks it's hilarious. And she also knows she's doing it to harm me. So that when someone that the board keeps seeing this, and eventually she's just going to wear them down. So then she sends that. If she sent it, I don't know what. I know she said she sent them more than 200 pages of stuff. She says she has receipts, fake receipts. I want to face my accuser. Don't you understand? She's not responding. That speaks volumes, right? So let me just read your other comment. Gia says, I bet, Teddy, my body went numb when I heard that. I'm so sorry. That's just too much. Uh, no, Teddy. Tree said that if I heard properly, I thought it was a thing in your court papers. I'm a bit behind on a lot of things you talked about. There's just so much. Joanne said, but she would be a no-show. And oh my goodness, just wait until it gets fully passed. First Lady, y'all can hate her or whatever. Melania Trump, she was talking about deep fake. Ted Cruz in Texas talking about deep fake and the impact that it's having on young women and people. Yeah. I want her to be unmasked. Mhm. I'm not afraid of any of her receipts. Because if she's got some receipts, they'll be, just like this, me talking about what's happened to me. Not that I've done anything. So I'm not worried about her receipts. Because right now they're not receipting because she just talks. She doesn't show receipts when it comes to me. But she's good at convincing people. Yeah. And other people, joining in and doing things. Yeah. Let me stop. Yeah. So, anyway, we got up on that because Kia mentioned it. And you can see still how much that um, how much it has affected me. Yeah. I said it then, I'll say it now. This whole charade of being an activist. No, you're not. And standing up for women. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no. She said if she's ever found out, so many people are going to be disappointed. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to yeah, why I said I need to see, other receipts, get focused, and stay there because it can be tricky, and there's a lot of work I have to do yet because the I haven't even finished. We haven't finished uh, the work that needs to be done to file for default judgment. Yeah. So that yet has to be done. I was hoping that would or will be finished really soon. Yeah. So we can file it. So I can file it. What is this? Joanne says a guilty person will avoid anything legal. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vicky. Stay focused. And also, I certainly hope folks aren't throwing things out to try to distract me from staying on. Can I look at a couple things, something new while I'm pursuing this? It would be, I guess, all a part of maybe discovery. I don't know what I'm going to do with any new information just yet. I'm certainly not going to say no, not when it comes to what's going on legally. I told you I'd provide you updates and things like, okay, you're going to see the history file. So, yeah, you can go and see the contents of it. But what I will do with any new information, you see, I don't know what I don't know. That's what discovery is for. If we get to that point, wouldn't it be great to just root people out? Just, it's one less person. We that's off the table. That's not the person. Thank you, baby Juju. We do love the updates. Yeah. Let's see. Joanne says, if I were her, presuming my innocence, I could easily protest my innocence. Yeah. She's absolutely, for someone to want to stay anonymous on this, she has so much. She had so much. So balancing it off, that means on the other side of the scale, she says she has a lot to lose. She said, I live a peaceful life. I do this, I do that. Um, I got goals. Uh, I'm working on my PhD. Now, who do you know? I know what it is, sister. I don't know. Maybe you're getting a PhD online. I don't know. But I, I, I don't know how that's going, but I don't know, to be 100%. Maybe they offer PhDs. They do online. I don't know what she's doing, but maybe Chat GBT is helping out because physically she's on. So maybe, maybe this is a long stretch down. I don't know if they let you do that with, certain PhDs. You got to stay up on top of things. I don't know. I'm side eyeing, but it's not mine too. Believe or not, she doesn't give. Yeah, but when she's unmasked, and I'm just going to say in the affirmative, believing it will happen, then we will all know. It will answer the questions. And Sean Shandava said, Danny looks good. I know. It's like, how do you know Shandava? You've seen her? She's pretty. Okay. I don't care if she's pretty. I just care that she's unmasked and be held accountable. You can look like the Queen of Sheba. That doesn't matter to me. Okay. And she said, uh, everybody's going to be so disappointed. She said this in a video that is deleted. Everybody's going to be so disappointed if she's found because she's going to be prettier. She said, prettier than cups, prettier than tails. She's just going to be so pretty. You can see how immature that statement is. I mean, that's so high school. She's going to be prettier than the other girls. Who cares? I mean, it sounds so high school. Oh, gosh. Yeah. No, it was just the way she said it. in her video. And then she says, bleachy, bleachy. You know what? Let me say something. If she's unmasked and she turns out to be, she said she's not yeller. And if she turns out to be sunshine, oh, and it's, we come in different colors. But it's something about that. It's something about that that's making me think that maybe she's on that other side of the scale. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, she's just robotic. She's just a voice. We don't know what she looks like. Yeah. So I'd love to face my accuser. Yeah. She says she's going to be the prettiest one. So again, she emphasizes you have to listen to her videos and you have to know what she has said. Okay. She pays very, very much attention and says lots of things about how women look, you know? And yes, she says she doesn't talk about their hair and their complexion and that. That's not true. She has. She has. So she's concerned about skin tone because she's mentioned it. Yeah, Vicky says she's conceited. So yeah, she may be very pretty. So she's very conceited. She could be. I don't know. So if she's all that, as they would say back in my day, if you're all that and a bag of chips, why don't you let us see at least a hand and those stiletto nails? You know, just can we see a hand? Can you wave? You know why she can't do that. Yeah. So right now we don't know. Yeah. Yeah. She said she's no. You know what I play. She definitely says she's not DEA because she's not high yeller. So that means she thinks DEA is high yeller. I never talked about Daniel Elizabeth in that way. She did. And she also said that Larry was ugly in so many words. She she wouldn't date anyone that ugly. So yeah. What is this? Don't forget them big hands. Who had big hands? Oh, you mean you're not talking about the beefy ones? Is that what you're talking about? Only Nosy Whole Life could say that. Is that what you're talking about? It's a Friday. It's Friday night, guys. It's night talk. Just conversation. I should put just conversation. Oh, no, when she said, oh, she slapped some. Yes, she has talked about her hand. Yes, yes, she did say that. Thank you, Vicky. If you meet her hands, she has talked about, she can fight. Now, again, just picture who is being proposed as, this Nirvana. Okay. She look like she's gonna knock somebody upside the head. I, again, I don't know what people do or can do. You can be small and do that too. And she's probably strong, because she rides that bike, so she has like, yeah, she's all trained and toned. So yeah, and she might even know self defense. So I don't know. Right. But I mean, the hands. Does she look like she has hands that, um, you know, I don't know. But I know somebody else who has hands, and she has pictures and says that she has fought, and that's Danielle Elizabeth Allen. Yeah, she had a picture, where she had just basically snatched someone and roughed them up. That's not talking about her. She put that picture out. She put that picture out. She's a fighter. Yeah, now could I picture her? Because she's shown, broken nails and some of those. Yeah, yeah, and we've seen her in a jumpsuit. So I don't know. Right now, I'm sticking with my theory until I see more. Yeah, there, and I'm definitely hands down sticking with the family. So again, someone in that family. Yeah, and don't forget that Deaver Danielle said if anybody ever shows up on her doorstep, they might show up, but they're not gonna be leaving. Why? Because she says she gonna be got her gun. Now picture that bicycle lady coming to the door with a loaded one. I'm just I can't I can't I don't know how to picture it. I don't, because I have not been thinking about the bicycle lady. Okay. I haven't, and I kind of, you know, it's like humor me. Now I'm not saying that anything's not possible, but this is some person who talks like they've been around kind of gangster city. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, in that language, yeah, they obviously, yeah, they've obviously been around a DEI. Now hold on, I thought about this only today. DEI. What does DEI also could that stand for? Has something to do with the E for entertainment industry. So, a DEI, I don't know. But she seems to know enough about it. And I mean, you'd have to draw that conclusion. Yeah, somebody, yeah, there's receipts and evidence of that. So, but then I don't know. This other the bicycle lady. I don't know. You know, like I said in the beginning, when that idea was floated to me, the bicycle lady, I can show you receipts. What did I say about Dave Oz? Okay, California. So the bicycle lady was floated back in 2022. And I just said, and here it is, the bicycle lady. And I mean, it's being a possibility. At least that's what others, I mean, really. So, are y'all serious about that? Because yeah, Dave Oz, he said I'd have to pull up that receipt. I don't know if I just could get it so quickly. You know that chat history. It's I have it somewhere. But yeah, Dave Oz said it must be hot out there in California, something like that. Yeah. And then when he said he could zero down right where she is. Ooh, she lost it. I said, why'd you do that to me, Dave? Say that. Because 4 days later my channels were taken down. And there were several people on the party line, as I later learned, that knew about the takedown. I couldn't believe it. I remember calling my moderators, and I was on, well, that was the second one. But the first time, yeah, I called my moderators. I called, when I say called, email, Crazy Lucian, Joy, the other, at least to let them know something. And Crazy Lucian, when I let her know, I said, it was Goody. I said, it says Trill Radio. Bingo. And Crazy Lucian told me I'd have to pull up the DM. She said, I'll talk to her. Let me talk to her. You see, I didn't understand. Now, I didn't even know at the time, I didn't even know that she'd never mentioned Crazy Lucian to me. I mean, a Goody. Crazy Lucian never mentioned her to me. She said, let me handle that, Teddy. I'll talk to her and I will find out if she had anything to do with it. And I'm telling her, it's right on the, it says Trill Radio. So it didn't make sense to me. And I was trying to tell her, I said, I don't know, Goody. I've never done anything to her. Why would she strike me? And all along, she had been on party line. She was familiar with Goody. She could call her. And then what did she do later? After that happened, oh, was that a stab in the back? Go to Goody while I'm down. I can't have access to any of my channels? Yeah, I couldn't even come into I couldn't. I had Gmail, but I couldn't get on YouTube with, yeah. All I could do is hear about it. I could watch, maybe some other way, but I did it till later. And she get up there and Goody play that. Yeah. And sit up there and listen to that, all that nonsense and lie. That was supposed to be DR. She was coming to America to all this stuff, playing videos. Where's she now? Yeah, she said I was like concerned. Yeah, that's why you don't know what she said to me in those DMs. That's why I had to let the police know. Yeah, I don't know what people go up to, especially when they talk about things y'all don't know about. Hello, I don't know. I didn't do anything to her either. I don't know where these people come from and why they, you know, I'll just leave it at that. Who is George Foreman, 76? Yeah, we're just talking about everybody tonight. A little bit. Oh, yeah. The hands. Yeah, she said she's got hands. She put the you know what? I've got that video when she remember when she first fell out, not first fell out with trees, but this last one. She was Montana. Woo. When she goes from 0 to 200, and she can do that. She always talks about, you know, what she can do. Does that sound like the bicycle lady? That's what I'm getting at. Does this sound like the bicycle lady who's gonna rough somebody up? You know, does this sound like the bicycle lady? That's all I'm trying to picture this bicycle lady who's just gonna jump off of her bike and suddenly she's gonna, change out of and then change into something, this monster. I don't know. I I I haven't thought about it enough to picture. Yeah, wouldn't that would be like that would be really shocking to me if it would come to that, if it would be, I mean, a long shot right now. I'm just talking, guys. I would say that all of that is coming from that. it would almost be disappointing. I, I, I don't know how to explain it. But I guess anything is possible. Yeah. Did she ever interview? Oh, that was the question. Did she ever interview? Did anyone ever actually make contact? Because I haven't been following, you know, what the Kimmy part of with this bicycle lady. Did anyone ever reach this nirvana to debunk it? Did D for Danielle, did she reach out to Nirvana and prove? Did she do that? Those are the kind of like the questions. Yeah. Did she? On based on King World, Nirvana has deleted. Oh, that was it. Deleted her Instagram. Um, she has dissolved Danny Nirvana, her LLC. That was recently done at the end of last year. And yeah, all these different links are broken. So, what does that say? She's listening. She apparently has learned that that people are talking about her last year. Yeah. So, if she doesn't have anything to be concerned about, yeah, except for, I mean, if somebody's really, if she's not that person and if she is being targeted, in such a way, she would, be concerned, I suppose. But she's got a lot of people around her, I think. Yeah. There's also there's also a link. There's a there's an interesting kind of, I'll just say, a link to, remember, Davy Danielle said she knows about uh, how to design a web page, that she knows all about designing, you know, SEO and all of that. Does anyone remember that? Well, I'll just say this one. There is a website. I'm not talking about her website now and another one, but think back about a website, and it was was it called YouTube Alley? Is that what it was called? I'd have to almost look it up. Was it called YouTube Alley? While we, while somebody maybe can. Li- no, it. Yeah, there's Lipstick Alley, but then there was a web page that she created, and it was up. What was it called? No, it's not Lipstick Alley, but it sounds like Lipstick Alley. It was YouTube Alley, I think, or something like that. There's something about a connection with that website to to a business in to a business in Atlanta. That's kind of interesting. You know, again, there's lots of businesses, marketing companies, this and that. Now Joanne says DEA or Soul Cycle. Yeah, she says it's neither one. So just if it isn't, just let's just make it definitive. Let's. Both of them have social media accounts. Oh, you mean like line things up on both sides of the ledger? This one versus that. Who has the strongest? At least looks more like. What would be the strong again? Because I haven't looked. I haven't looked at what would be the strongest like reason so far to support the Nirvana, you know, bicycle lady. I mean, something that just really stands out. Well, I, well, the only thing that comes to mind, like, you know, uh, California. Okay, maybe, yeah, California. That really got her going. Hmm, I don't know. What's this? Joanne says, I know for a fact that at least one post has reached them. Oh, you do? Okay. You mean a like someone got in touch with them, or a post that was made and put on YouTube is how you know you've seen something that she acknowledged it. Oh, yes, and both. Okay. I like the question that Cups mentioned the other night. Let's see if I can remember it exactly. I was I'd have to go back to my video. So because I put her question up, because I don't want to, quote misquote her. But yeah, why wouldn't she? She could come on. She could come on and easily because she's been a public person. So yeah, imagine she's doing something. Oh, she acknowledged it. You see how out of the loop I am. She acknowledged it because nobody would attack you for nothing, Teddy. Do the math. That's all right. So if I get that correct, she acknowledged it. She being the bicycle lady, or the other. And yes, nobody would attack me for nothing. Do the math. Yep, it is not the math. The math, as they say, is a mathing. I don't even know if wait a minute. That's not. I don't have my headphones on, so I was just checking to see if there was any video, anything playing, music. Um, Joanne is Joanning tonight. Fire. Um, Attacking you for anonymous, from anonymous or alias accounts. Yeah, she's got a lot of aliases. Maybe somebody else might have a lot of aliases too. Again, I don't know how that other. I just yeah, I don't know. It's like give me a connection, something that says yeah. All right, I'm going to check my email. It is, oh my goodness, it's 11:43. Oh yeah, I know what you're going to going over to Perry's. Um, all right, let me check my email. I will come back and see if there's anything else to say. Um, but I should probably go ahead and wrap this up. All right, so I just got this message. George Foreman passed away. Boxing heavyweight great George Foreman, who fought Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle, passed away at the age of 76. Remember George Foreman? George Foreman. Yeah, great heavyweight. I saw him fight. He died on Friday. What up? But heart's broken. So it's today. We announced the passing of our beloved George Edward Foreman. He had a lot of sons that were named George. Peacefully, he departed, so that's good. On March 21st, surrounded by loved ones, a devout preacher, devoted husband, loving father, proud great grandfather. He lived a life marked by unwavering faith, humility, and purpose. Humanitarian, Olympian, and two-time heavyweight champion of the world, he was deeply respected. A force for good, a man of discipline, conviction, and a protector of his legacy, fighting tirelessly to preserve his good name for his family. George passes away or passed away. Or I could say today. Who still has their Foreman grill? I don't, but I imagine some people will probably hold on to theirs now, you know, especially if they had the original, you know, the, the one. Joanne says, ask yourself who in the heck would even bother in striking a very small YouTube channel? I know it just doesn't swear. Teddy, chat replay is very telling. I observe or see everything going down, but you couldn't really say anything at the time. Okay. Yeah, I don't see everything. Yeah, you've just been enjoying the conversation. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that uh, and I'll listen, but I'm glad that the sound is better tonight. All right. Check my email. Biggest bear hugs go out to each of the grizzlies and the honey bears. Please hit the like if you have not done on your way out. Okay, the replay you showed in the beginning. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Yes, Vicky, I'm so glad we can hear tonight. I am too. Okay, that's it for me. Um, yeah, keep your bare phones on. It's already just about midnight. Some of you will probably be up late. I might peek at the other live, for a moment. Uh, but sometime tomorrow, yeah, I plan to come back. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad. I am too. All right. Yeah, we kept you up late. No, I kept you up late. Okay. And I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. That's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.